Update 34 in Deep Rock Galactic is an update that has me playing more than I have been in months. I almost completely skipped out on Update 33 because what I enjoy most in Deep Rock Galactic is playing and experimenting with different builds. We got a lot of really good changes to weapon balancing, even some on the Scout's Zhukov NUK17. Not everyone feels the same way I do about this update. I've heard it's the worst update in Deep Rock Galactic ever, or even Deep Rock Galactic's Update 34 is trash. Mostly coming from veterans and hardcore players, and it's totally fine for them to have this opinion, I just don't agree. This leads new players or less hardcore players to think that a class like the Scout is in a worse place than it was before Update 34. I think if we can take a step back and look at what the weapon balancing did to each weapon, we can then come to an agreement on whether Scout is in a better or worse place now. This video is on the Scout Zhukov NUK17s, but you should also check out the other videos on the Deep Core GK2, the M1000 Classic, and the Jury Rig Boomstick. I think this approach makes sense, right? If the Scout's weapons or most of the Scout's weapons got buffed, the class itself got buffed. If the Scout's weapons were mostly nerfed, then obviously the class got nerfed. I'm okay saying that I think Update 34 is actually a pretty good update. I've got an entire video prepared on why I think Update 34 is one of the best updates we've gotten since 1.0 launched last year. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss that. The Zhukov has always shined as a single target weapon for the Scout. If you toss an IFG grenade on an oppressor while running conductive bullets, you'll kill the oppressor in less than one magazine of ammo. You can certainly build it for crowd control, it's just tough to hit the needed weak point shots, but all of the Zhukov's buffs it just got will help with crowd control. The base horizontal spread was decreased from 36 to 33. The base max ammo was increased from 300 ammo to 325. And the base weak point multiplier was increased from 0% to 15%. So now precision shots will do 15% more damage. The biggest complaint I've had, and I've heard others have with the Zhukovs, are its lack of ammo reserves. I'll admit that it's a secondary weapon, so it shouldn't be the reliable workhorse that all of the primary weapons are. And maybe that means you probably shouldn't be using the Zhukovs for the majority of a mission. Because of how it chews through your ammo, expanded ammo bags always felt crucial to run. At least if you were trying to do some swarm clearing on the Scout. To help the Zhukovs do that, the better weight balance mod was buffed. The improved spread bonus was increased from 50% to 60%. Because of how crucial expanded ammo bags felt, the mod was nerfed, but that difference that was lost was added to the base weapon. In my opinion, that's a neutral change, because your expanded ammo bags build is the same before Update 34 and after Update 34. The max ammo bonus was reduced from a plus 150 max ammo to a plus 100 max ammo. Again, that difference was moved to the base weapon. And yes, the difference between 150 and 100 is 50, but because the Zhukov is two weapons shooting at the same time, 25 ammo was added to the base. 1 ammo equals 2 shots, 1 per hand. It's weird to explain, but I hope it makes sense that what was lost from expanded ammo bags was just added to the base weapon. So we know that the Zhukov is pretty much a burst damage per second king. Before Update 34, the custom Casings overclock had 2 penalties: a direct damage and a rate of fire penalty, in exchange for extra ammo in the magazine clip. Both of these penalties neutered its burst damage ability. With the Zhukov's biggest appeal gone, the custom Casings overclock has just sat in a really bad place. With Update 34, that damage penalty was removed completely, but the rate of fire penalty was worsened. It's still no single target DPS king, but it actually fits better as a crowd control option now. Larger magazine size means less time in between reloads, and each bullet is now doing full damage. It's now a pretty good option if you want to pair the Zhukovs with the M1000 Classic or Deep Core GK2 that you build for damage. The Zhukov can be used for swarms. An overclock that I've been sleeping on for a long time is the Cryo Minelets. It's never something I really thought about using, but it's actually an incredible crowd control option too. Here's how. Use blow through rounds and you'll be able to mow through a pack of enemies. Shoot through the enemies in the front and the enemies in the back will get frozen. Then when those enemies are frozen, you'll get the 300% buff to impact damage. Or swap to Bullets of Mercy Deep Core GK2 once they're frozen and shred through them. So where does this leave the Zhukov's build diversity? Every Zhukov overclock in Deep Rock Galactic has a place, I think, other than maybe the gas recycling overclock. I just don't see why I'd want to give up the 45% weak point damage you can get up to, with worse accuracy spread and even less movement. All of that just for increased direct damage, which gets weakened by armor on enemies. Everything else is great. Minimal magazines is a good clean overclock. Embedded detonator shreds single targets, especially in Dreadnought fights. And custom casings and cryo minelets are even stronger crowd control options now. Let me know what you think about the Zhukov NUK17 now and what builds you're running on Twitter or in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel for more free content like the best Zhukov NUK17 builds to use. Thank you to those of you that have checked out and support me on Patreon, and thanks for watching.
This whole world twice, if I could be a paradise.